tell you what, if that's not American Idol material, I don't know what is. But you veterans, remember that right there is what we're fighting for, and thank you for that. Now to discuss the Flying Tigers, we have freshman Laura Russell and junior Handu Zhang.
In 1933, the Empire of Japan attacked the nation of China. This was before the United States entered the World War II. The Chinese nation did not have an air force. In 1940, Madame Chiang Kai-shek, the wife of President of China, asked President Roosevelt for help. They created the first American volunteer group of the Chinese Air Force. Their nickname was the Flying Tigers. The pilots came from the United States Army Air Corps, Navy, and Marine Corps. The planes that the Flying Tigers flew were painted to look like a shark. Each member of the Flying Tigers had a flying jacket with the following words in Chinese written on the back.
来华助战，洋人、美国、军民一体救护航空委员会。
This foreign person has come to China to help with the war effort. Soldiers and civilians, one and all, should rescue, protect, and provide them with medical care. When you see the names on the wall, you will see Frank Hunsaker, Lieutenant Hunsaker of the United States Army Air Corps, was a Flying Tiger and Mr. Higgs's uncle.
Now to discuss Flanders Field, we have sophomore Casey Carthel.
In Flanders Field poem. In Flanders Field the poppies blow, between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky, the larks, still bravely singing, fly. Scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago, we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Field. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw. The torch, be yours to hold it high, if you break faith with us who died. We shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders Fields. Thank you.
America was not built on fear. America was built on courage, on imagination, and an unbeatable determination to do the job at hand. Harry S. Truman.
My dream is of a place and a time where America will once again be seen as the last best hope of Earth. Abraham Lincoln.
I look forward to a great future for America. A future in which our country will match its military strength with our moral strength, its wealth with our wisdom, and its power with our purpose. John F. Kennedy.
Our flag honors those who have fought to protect it, and it is a reminder of the sacrifice of our nation's founders and heroes. As the ultimate icon of America's storied history, the Stars and Stripes represents the very best of this nation. Joe Barton.
Let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe, to assure the survival and success of liberty. John F. Kennedy.
If we love our country, we should also love our countrymen. Ronald Reagan.
The patriot volunteer fighting for country and his rights makes the most reliable soldier on earth. Stonewall Jackson.
Wars may be fought with weapons, but they are won by men. But it is the spirit of men who follow and of the man who leads that gains victory. George S. Patton.
Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few. Winston Churchill.
I know not course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death. Patrick Henry. Fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it, far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little know nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we would here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Abraham Lincoln, November 19, 1863.
At this time, we're going to have the songs of the United States Armed Services play. Those of you who served in the United States Armed Services, whether you are a member of the United States Navy, the United States Marine Corps, the United States Army, whether you served in the Coast Guard, whether you served in the Merchant Marine, we want you to stand, we want to honor you. And for those of us who have loved ones who have gone on and are at their eternal duty station and stand watch over this country from over there, stand for them too. as we prepared this year's Veterans Day ceremony, and I thought about who we would have as a special speaker, I thought, well, maybe I could invite our U.S. House of Representatives, Randy Nuremberger, who's retiring. I decided, no, I don't think so. And I thought about inviting Ken King back, our Texas House of Representatives rep, because they both have been here before, and I decided, no. This is to honor those who serve and have served. And I asked myself, who represents some of the finest characteristics of this country? As you know, I teach history. So I go back and I think about the Barbary Pirates. And I think about just a few men in the colors of the uniform and the man who's about to speak, who fought and won the war and became known as the Leathernecks because they took a sword and tried to go after the Marine's head. But guess what? That Leatherneck protected them. Then I thought about World War I. We celebrate Veterans Day because of World War I and Belle Wood. And the brave Marines who said, retreat. And he said something else, Chesty Puller did. We just got here. And the Germans looked and fought. They couldn't fight them. They couldn't beat them. And they called them something. They called them devil dogs. Woof, woof. And the Marines, that's what they do to each other now. They bark at each other. Because the bulldog is their symbol. Then I thought about World War II. And I thought about the island hopping campaign and the Marine Raiders. And then I thought about Iwo Jima and the famous flag raising. I remembered Incheon. I remembered Yalu River, where Marines fought against North Korea and their allies and would not leave their dead, because a Marine never leaves a Marine on the field. Then I thought about Da Nang and Vietnam. I thought about Beirut and that sad day when the bomb went off and Marines were killed in the barracks. Then I thought about the global war on freedom and where we are today. And there are Marines in the line of fire today. Afghanistan. And even as the Iraqi army struggles to retake Mosul, they have advisors. But once again, our men are there. Everywhere we are in danger, everywhere somebody threatens this country, the Marines are there. And as a band person all my life, I knew that great and studied the music of that great band director, John Philip Sousa. Do you know what John Philip Sousa was? John Philip Sousa was a Marine. And whenever the President of the United States comes to speak, and you hear Hail to the Chief play, that is played by the United States Marine Band, Washington Barracks, Sousa's Army. And they are the only one authorized by presidential decree to play that. First to fight. Never leaves the field of battle. Never leaves their own. Adapt and overcome. That's our band model. You know where I got that model from? I had a whole bunch of old Marines who were band parents at former school. And if you look in the back of my car, you'll see two stickers. One is from a church that changed my life, and the other is the Anchor and Globe. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce to you a serving member of the United States Marine Corps, Sergeant Sky Clifton.
That's all right. So I came here last few weeks. I was invited to come out here, and it's an honor and privilege to be in front of all of you here today. I've been in the Marines for 9 years, and it's something I'm passionate about, something I love to do. I've had friends and family in every single branch. I love every single one of them that has done it before me, who is wanting to come in and take my place later on after me. So over the last few weeks, I've been trying to figure out what I want to say. What freedom, what America means to me. But honestly, look around. This is it. This is why I do what I do. Because of the younger generations. Freedom isn't won over computers, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. That's not how it's done. Unfortunately, people have to go and do things that others cannot do. It's the way of life. If you look in the history books, there's always been a war. There's always been something worth fighting for. And America, to me, just like many others before me, was worth fighting for them then. My heart was a little broken when the elections were over, I'm not going to lie to you, because of everything that happened after it was announced who won. The protesting in the streets, the unfortunate deaths that were to follow. 5 individuals were shot and killed yesterday in Seattle, unfortunately, because they were Trump supporters. But you guys have helped fill that back up. Because I look around in this room, and I see a bunch of patriotic young men and women who know what freedom is. Whether it's performing on the stage, I was in the band. When I was in the elementary all the way through high school, I was passionate about that. I would give everything I had. Whether it was you guys coming up here and singing, you guys did great. You all make me feel like I can continue going on. And for that, I thank you. I don't know of any other school that is doing this, not even my own daughter's school, who is 6 years old. I'm not talking about that. I am truly honored to be here because you guys have made me feel better, in all honesty. I like to feel good. It helps me continue my job. My job right now is a recruiter. Okay? I'll tell you what, I wasn't passionate about that at first, but now I am. It's getting a little better because now I see why I need to do it. Because it's my job to find those young men and women who are just as passionate about freedom, just as passionate about the country that they live in, to help get them started in the right path, no matter what branch it is. Army, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, Navy. I've had family and friends in every single one of them. Somebody in this room will join. It's statistically proven. Whether it's before you graduate as your senior year or after graduation. I came from a small school in Jacksboro, Texas. From what I know of, I'm the only one who has joined from my class in that city. In that city. When I moved to New Mexico, I was the first one to enlist in the United States Marine Corps out of my class. And shortly after, as soon as people started seeing my life change, and they wanted a change in their life, they started to join different branches. A lot of my friends are now in the Marines, the Air Force, the Army. My brother-in-law is a Navy corpsman. Those guys are awesome. I'll tell you that. Honestly, if you want to know what freedom is, look in the mirror. You're the future of the United States of America. No matter who the president is, the vice president, who's in Congress, Senate, you are the future. You always have to know that you are worth fighting for, no matter what. All right? That's all I really have. You guys make each day better. Because I see your smiles, I get to help pick you guys up like you guys did for me today. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the opportunity to come out here and just see your guys' performance. It's truly humbling to know that we're still appreciated. I thank you guys very much from the bottom of my heart. I hope whatever your goals, your dreams, and your aspirations are, you go for them. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do something, because this is America. And you can do whatever you set your mind to. It's the land of the free because of the brave. Not many other countries can say that. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to come out here. I wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors. God bless.
At this point of our ceremony honoring those who have served, I want to, first though, I'm going to do something for you. Thank you, sir. This is the time we have the names on the wall. In Washington, D.C., there is a monument to those who fought in the Vietnam War, but who didn't get to come home to their families. As we learned a couple of years ago, when we first did this, Mr. Howe told us about two of the names on that wall. Graduated from this school, walked across this stage in 1968. And within 2 months of each other, gave the final gift they could give for our freedom. They gave their lives. And they're buried just down the street down here in the cemetery. Elks forever. These are the names of our families. These are the names of our people. These are your grandmas, your grandpas, your aunts, your uncles, your teachers. These are the names of those who have served and are serving. So let's take a moment and remember those who have gone on and paid that price. Some by spending several years in the service, and some who gave the final price. God Center, we now honor our heroes.
All
guard, retire the national and state colors. In the words of General Douglas MacArthur, as he was on the battleship Missouri, accepting the surrender of the Japanese forces, these proceedings are now concluded. You may be seated.
This concludes our Veterans Day program for today. We want to wish all of the serving members now Godspeed, safety. Thank you for being here, Lieutenant Clifton. We enjoyed it. We will be in 8th period, and we will dismiss with our guests first. So if you're in school, stay seated until they leave, and then we will dismiss you by class. All righty. Thank you.